Keri Hilson is fundamentally correct. She's fundamentally right. Now, it's a lot of nuance and there's a lot of details and there's layers to everything that she's saying. I'm hearing both sides of the argument, and there's valid points made on both sides. About the banning of Donald Trump from Twitter and multiple platforms. They said they even banned Donald Trump from, I believe, Shopify, Facebook, all these platforms. They're all linked together. They all have contracts with a lot of them have contracts with the federal government. Even without contracts, the federal government still has influence. They influence anything to where a mass of people occupy. Now, the truth of the matter is that Twitter and all these places, they have the right, as privately owned companies, they have the right to ban whatever form of speech. There's no form of free speech when it comes to, their own product, their own business. They can run it exactly how they want to run it, right? But that goes both ways. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, people, no matter what position that was taken, no matter what position is taken or who it is, the person who it's affecting is going to have a problem with it, right? Now, it's completely disingenuous. She said it within her post. She said, leave Trump completely out of it. Because, everybody goes crazy. Everybody's brainwashed. So if you say anything that sounds like it's in favor of Trump, people lose their goddamn minds. That's not what she was saying. She was dealing with the issue at hand and the precedent that it sets. Now, what the left wing, the Democrats, are doing, they're basically implementing something that they accused Donald Trump and the right wing of doing this whole entire time. And they were actually accurate within their accusations. Because when you're trying to influence, especially as the leader of the country, and you're trying to influence people saying, kneeling, shouldn't be kneeling, they don't have the right to do that, which is freedom of expression. And, protesting, not rioting, but protesting, enforcing different things to where, giving people curfews and different stuff like that. Like I said, not rioting. Those are forms of fascism. Now, it's a new age fascism because they know they can't put it in paperwork for the most part. They can't, they can't put it in paperwork. So what they do is try to influence, the corporate guys, the tech, the tech giants or whatever, the forms of entertainment like they influence on NFL owners and different things like that. They do that. It's a form of fascism. And that's what the left is doing now. Like I said, they can't put it in paperwork. They can't make it official. So they'll just influence where everybody gathers at. They know everybody is on these different sites, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams. They know everybody is on there, and they know everybody's pretty much locked into. They've got the generations. They know that, wherever's the popular media, whatever is highly promoted, and this goes for everything. Music has always been the perfect sample of what that looks like. Whatever's popular, people are going to gravitate toward, because it's got the promotion and it's got the money to back its promotion. And so that's what they're going to attack. That's what they're going to attack. We know that left-wing media pretty much influences all forms of life, from education, television, just everything. It's as a high influence. They're looked at as the good guys, and the right wing is looked at the bad guys, no matter what. So, the reality and how, best way to fight these things is you just got to find alternative. You got to find alternative sites, places that will allow you to exercise that right to the fullest. Your problem is with the owner. The owner of these corporations. That's where the issue lies. So you just got to deal with somebody who has it, who allows you to do that, or, find a way to create a new platform for yourself. I mean, they've gone a lot, they've done a lot. You had, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Amazon removed the Parler application, something that's, used by a lot of right-wing and conservative heads. You just got to find something. And they'll always, these different websites, these different platforms, they'll always move the goalpost. They'll continue to move the goalpost. If they can find a way to influence, the public, and they find a hole that's being exploited, they'll find a way to shut it down without looking bad within the public eye. And that's what they try to do. Now, a lot of people say, and they're right when they say this, free speech stops even on a constitutional level. With human rights, free speech stops when it becomes violence and threats. The issue with that is it has to be direct. You can't say that somebody, try to put your own spin on everything, or how you interpreted it, because if it wasn't directly said, tear up a government building or inflict violence on a person, imagine the precedent that sets, especially for yourself. Think about, people within civil rights protest, or when somebody with a voice, wants to make a change. And they want to protest and show up somewhere. And they say, be there in large numbers. But they don't say anything about tearing up anything or harming anybody. But it's being played, they're playing the sides, because you had Tamika Mallory flat out. Nobody banned her this summer. And you had her flat out say, burn everything down. Remember that? People were making clear threats. Hawk Newsom of Black Lives Matter did the same thing. He made his clear. Nobody banned him from anything. So what's the standard? And yeah, they had more of a reason. They had more of a reason. Even if, I believe a lot of the different things is misdirected or whatnot, they had more reason in my eyes. A lot of stuff, the stuff that happened at the Capitol was silly, but at the same time, they still have the right to protest. And you can't blame what some people were doing on the whole crowd. And you definitely can't do it. You can't do it on, blame it on the person who organized it. Now maybe it came from the tweet when he talks about, this is what happens when you do so and so a regular election or, different things like that. But still, it's nothing direct. Still nothing direct. Yeah, it happened because of his rhetoric. But like I said, that could happen with anybody on any side. So this is more about what y'all allow, what the public allows, and what they cheer for. It could come back to bite everybody in the ass. It's just a new form of fascism. It's not put in legislation, but it's done through influence. Everything's a mental game. They know where everybody's at. They know where everybody puts their time in at. They know where the crowd is at. People come to these different social sites because they know that's where the crowd is at. They have to talk to the people. Whether good or bad, whatever message that they're trying to relay out there, they're going to go where the people are at. So the best way for suppression is to shut people out. They did the same thing to Louis Farrakhan. Y'all forget that? So this suppresses people because it's easier to reach a mass through these platforms, rather than going out on the street corner or different things like that. It's much easier. The government knows they got to get a handle. They got to get a handle on those different things because they want to keep their agenda. They don't want to awake the masses. You see what's been happening on YouTube. They shutting down people that don't align with their agenda. I'm just a small channel, so they're not worried about me, but the big boys can catch strikes for no reason, no matter how accurate the information is. Meanwhile, they let the ignorant shit go. You could talk, they let the rappers, they don't touch none of the rap music, none of the rappers who curse, say crazy shit, and I'm not telling them to. But it's just ironic that they'll do that, Check out some of the music coming out of Chicago, the diss songs. They don't delete none of their channels, not hitting them with strikes. Something to think about. Something to think about. So, just gonna have to go harder. People like Keri, Hilson, the rest of the people who are, who want a liberated society, just gonna have to go harder. There's nothing you can really do when it comes to situations like this, but keep trying to get the spark out of people and educate, each one teach one. But, like I said, these are private companies, so they have the right to do whatever they want to do. But, somebody made a great fucking point. The same people saying that a lot of the same people that are saying it's their company, they can do whatever they want to do, are the same ones that side with the government and the officials when they say that, it's not about human rights when you got to close down your business against your will. The same people. So it's their business. They should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. No matter what. No matter what. I'm out, man.